What's up, people? In Indianola, Mississippi, an 11-year-old boy was shot and seriously wounded after making a 911 call. He had to be hospitalized where he had a chest tube and was placed on a ventilator. Now, this boy, Aderrien Murry, obeyed his mother's instruction to call the police after the father of one of his siblings showed up apparently irate. Now, when the responding officer, Greg Capers, arrived at the scene, he ordered everybody to come out of the house. After Aderrien showed up, he was shot. The shooting resulted in a collapsed lung, a lacerated liver, and fractured ribs. He has been released and is recovering. His family is seeking answers. His family wants Capers not only to be fired, but also to be criminally charged. I'll roll the clips now.
Needing help, but then he was shot in the chest by an officer. This 11-year-old boy from Mississippi is now thankfully at home and recovering this morning, but his family is demanding to know why things went so wrong. CNN's Nick Valencia is tracking this story. Nick, I mean, obviously that is everyone's immediate reaction here is how does a child who calls the police for help end up being shot by the responding officer? What do you know?
Well, his mother tells me, Caitlin, that after Aderrien Murry was shot in the chest by police, he asked his mother, "What did I do wrong? Why did I get shot?" And according to his mother, Nikayla Murray, all of this unfolded at 4 a.m. on Saturday when she says the father of another one of her children showed up at her home at 4 in the morning irate. She was scared for her safety, so she snuck a cell phone to Aderrien to tell him to call 911. He did. And she says when the officer showed up at her home, he had his gun drawn already. He asked everyone to get out of the home. And that's when Aderrien came from around the corner of a hallway into the living room. And she says that police officer opened fire once, shooting him in the chest. Aderrien was put on a ventilator at the ICU at the University Medical Center in Jackson, Mississippi, about 100 miles away. This all unfolded in a predominantly black area of the Mississippi Delta, a very impoverished community. He suffered a lacerated liver, fractured lungs, and developed a collapsed lung and fractured ribs, as well as a lacerated liver. All of this, Caitlin, was reportedly caught on police body camera, though that has not been released. Caitlin?
What's the sense of why that body camera footage has not been released yet?
Well, I want to make this clear. We repeatedly called the local police department yesterday to try to get answers from them. They never got back to us after multiple messages left. But the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, they did get back to us to say that they are not releasing this body camera because of an ongoing investigation. Meanwhile, this officer has been identified as Greg Capers. The local board of aldermen voted to place him on paid administrative leave. The family and the family attorney, they're making this very clear. They want this officer charged. They want him fired.
Aderrien, according to the police, was mistaken for an adult. That I will not buy. It is interesting that whites that shoot at cops, even if they kill at least one cop and are given the chance to surrender, on the way to jail, they are given food from Burger King, courtesy of the arresting officers. However, even a black child obeying orders is killed, or if not killed, at least shot and seriously wounded. That was such a terrible thing to do. Why haven't the videos been released? It's because the police officers know the truth. Capers, meanwhile, has been placed on administrative leave. That is not good. The family attorney, Carlos Moore, had something to say about the incident. I'll roll the clips for you to hear what he had to say.
Capers should have immediately been put on administrative leave. If our demands are not met, starting on Thursday morning, we will occupy City Hall. We will have a sit-in in City Hall starting on Thursday. You have 48 hours, I said. I didn't stutter. I said 48 hours. You got Tuesday and Wednesday to act and do the right thing. We will start a sit-in at City Hall 9 a.m. Thursday morning. And I encourage every citizen that believes in justice to come forth and stand and sit with this family until we get some justice. It's usually people that don't look like you shooting unarmed black men. But in the city of Indianola, you got one of your very own, got the same color of skin, shot a 11-year-old unarmed black child, a black boy. And I hadn't seen any remorse. No penance. That's a shame. It stinks to high heaven. And we're here to say time's up, Indianola. Do right or pay the price. It's Indianola now. It could be Murrayville tomorrow. We're going to make Indianola pay for having this young boy come within an inch of losing his life. We will now join the Board of Aldermen for their meeting. Hopefully they'll do something right tonight, but don't hold your breath.
Attorney Moore,
Yes.
have a question.
Okay.
Understand that when officers go off for training, they are trained to shoot to kill. What do you believe the intent of this officer was at the moment when that bullet struck your client?
He shot him in center range in the chest. He intended to kill the 11-year-old. He didn't try to injure him. He intended to kill him. And I want to know why. What was so spooky about an 11-year-old that is unarmed?
Understand MBI is doing an investigation. They've called an outside agency in. I've not been able to hear anything from the chief. What do you think MBI will come up with? What do you think the findings will be? And how long will it take for us to?
And there's no way a trained officer should have feared for his life or the safety of anyone around him when an 11-year-old approaches with no weapon. Nothing in his hands.
The administrative leave is such a joke. Administrative leave to me means paid vacation. That scumbag Keepers should have been arrested like right after the video was seen. The incident was taken on the body cam. The police officers have not shown the body cam video because it is the cop that is at fault. The video must show that the cop shot the poor little boy just for nothing. I hope the family continues with the pursuit of justice. Keepers is such an animal who belongs behind bars. I have no idea of what he looks like, but if he were a black person, he'd be behind bars already, because I'm sure that there's nothing like a black person having white privilege. White supremacy is about getting rid of black people. The fact that the cop has been placed on administrative leave tells me that it is definitely not a black person that shot Aderrien. I don't trust cops. It can be horrible. This incident happened in Mississippi, where racism is ugly. The police in Mississippi are known to be Negrophobes. That state is extremely Negrophobic. I hope the FBI gets involved. I'd like to see justice for Aderrien. Let me know what you think. I would appreciate you liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching.